Beep. Declined. The sound is small, but it slices through the boutique like a siren. My mother-in-law doesn't even flinch. She stands beside the counter with that polished smile, chin lifted, fingers resting on her designer bag like she's been born holding a receipt. Beep. Declined. The cashier's cheeks go pink. She turns the screen slightly by accident, like she assumes I'm the one who can fix it. And there it is, my account, my name, her card marked authorised user. A list of items I never chose. Gifts, silk, jewellery, perfume that isn't mine. My phone vibrates. Client meeting ran late. Don't wait up. My stomach drops so hard it feels physical, like gravity grabbed my insides. I stare at the timestamp on the charge, then the little location pin. My pulse starts knocking in my throat. That isn't his office. My lips barely move when I whisper, if this is where you spend your nights, I'm about to learn who you spend them with. My name is Mara Ellison. I'm 31, and for the last year I've been living like someone who's afraid to touch a loose thread in her own sweater, because I knew if I pulled, the whole thing might unravel. We were rebuilding. That's the phrase I kept feeding myself like a vitamin. After the rough year, after the layoffs, after the apologies that came too late and the promises that came too fast. So when my husband started saying work nights, I swallowed my questions. I let the words slide over me like warm water. Client dinners, emergency calls, last-minute presentations, the kind of things a good wife is supposed to understand. And I handled the money because I was better at it. That's what they told me. It wasn't even a fight. It was said like a compliment, like a crown placed gently on my head. I paid the bills. I tracked the subscriptions. I made sure the lights stayed on and the pantry stayed full and the credit score stayed pristine. And my mother-in-law, she loved that part. She loved telling her friends her son took care of everyone while she swiped a card tied to my name and smiled like she'd earned it with bloodline alone. The boutique air smells like leather and perfume and quiet judgment. My throat tastes metallic. My tongue presses hard against the back of my teeth, as if my mouth is trying to hold my feelings in by force. Because it isn't the spending, it's the rhythm of it, the way the lies line up, the way the charges show up like clockwork, the way my body has started to brace itself every time Thursday comes. If you've ever felt like you were being lied to, right in your own home, stay with me and tell me, would you confront them first or gather proof? My fingers hover over my phone. One tap and I could call him. One tap and I could explode my life in public, right here between the silk scarves and the mirrored walls. I don't. My hand slides to the banking app instead. I open the card history. The screen refreshes. It's a small motion, my thumb dragging down, the list snapping into place, but it feels like I've just cracked a door open in a house I'm not supposed to enter. Air changes. My lungs notice before my brain does. Behind me, my mother-in-law laughs softly, like this whole moment is a cute inconvenience. Like declined cards are something that happens to other people, not to women who wear diamonds to brunch and treat store associates like furniture. I keep my face still. That's what I'm good at. Looking fine when I'm not, keeping my voice light when my stomach is turning itself inside out. I'm the calm one, the capable one, the woman who remembers passwords and due dates and dentist appointments and what brand of coffee he likes even when he swears he doesn't care. I've been tired for so long that I don't even remember what rested feels like. It's like my body has been holding its breath since last year, since the rough year, waiting for the moment the ground finally gives out. My husband, Noah, is good at looking like a provider. That's his gift. He can stand in a room and make people feel safe just by smiling. He has this polished, quick warmth, like he's always a half step away from doing something important. He speaks in confident bursts. I've got it. I'll handle it. Trust me. And everyone does, even me. even when the words started coming with friction, even when work nights became a phrase he used the way people use umbrellas, without thinking, without noticing how often it rains. He's always rushing, always needed, always with a reason that sounds responsible enough to swallow your doubt. Clients, deadlines, last-minute meetings, emergencies that only he can fix because he's just that valuable. And I'm the wife who understands, the wife who smiles and says, of course, the wife who reheats dinner and eats alone, standing at the counter because sitting down feels too much like admitting I'm waiting for someone who isn't coming. Elaine, my mother-in-law, doesn't bother to hide what she thinks of me. Not really. She just wraps it in manners like tissue paper around something sharp. She calls me dear when she needs something and sweetheart when she wants to soften an insult. She never says my name the way she says his. Noah is always Noah. I'm Mara, like a placeholder, like a temporary label on a jar. In her world, family is blood and status, and who sits where at dinner. I married her son, but I didn't become her family. I became an extension, a tool, a convenience, the person who makes the machine run so her son can look shiny in public. When we first got married, I tried. God, I tried. I bought the right candles. I learned the names of the cousins I offered to host. I laughed at jokes that felt like tiny humiliations. I pretended not to notice when she corrected me in front of people, or when she introduced me without mentioning what I did for work, like my life didn't start until I met her son, and I let her have the card. That is the part that keeps pressing on my ribs like a bruise. It didn't start dramatic. It started like a simple, practical thing. Noah stood in our kitchen one night, sleeves rolled up, acting like this was an adult conversation between adults who loved each other. Mum needs a backup card, he said, like he was discussing a smoke detector. Just for emergencies. She's getting older, Mara, and she hates asking. He said it gently, and my stomach softened, because I still wanted us to be good. I still wanted to believe in the version of him who meant well. She has her own money, I said. I kept it casual. He laughed. A quick little sound. You know how she is. She doesn't like using her account for certain things. It's embarrassing. Embarrassing, like it's normal to be embarrassed about using your own money. But he leaned in and kissed my forehead like he was thanking me for being reasonable. We're a family, he said, and you're the best at finances anyway. The compliment landed like a warm hand on the back of my neck, and I said yes, because peace felt worth it, because I was tired of tension, because after the rough year, I wanted something, anything that felt like stability. I wanted to be the kind of wife who made things smooth. I wanted to be the person who kept everyone safe. So I added Elaine as an authorised user. I set the limit. I told myself it was controlled, emergency only. It wasn't. It never was. Now the list on my screen scrolls down and my mouth goes dry, 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 as if my body is trying to stop me from speaking a truth I'm not ready to taste. At first, the purchases looked like what I've always seen. Department stores, fancy grocery deliveries, salon charges with names I recognise because she repeats them like prayers. Luca does my colour. Luca understands undertones. Then I hit the first one that makes my fingers go cold. A trendy lounge, the kind of place with neon signs and cocktails that come smoking under glass domes, the kind of place Elaine would call tacky if she saw it on someone else's Instagram. My brows pull together. I scroll back up. I check the time. Thursday, 8:47 p.m. My stomach dips. Another one. Boutique florist. Not the classic place she loves, the one with stiff white roses and thick ribbons. This is a modern shop with orchids and dramatic arrangements, the kind you buy when you're trying to impress someone. Thursday, 6:12 p.m. Another charge, upscale dessert bar, not her style either. Elaine doesn't do dessert in public. She says sugar shows on your face. Thursday, 9:19 p.m. My pulse starts to thud, slow, heavy, like footsteps in a hallway. Behind me, Elaine sighs theatrically, tapping her nails on the counter. It's ridiculous, she says, loud enough for the cashier to hear. These machines are always malfunctioning when you need them. I don't turn around. If I turn, she'll see something, and I can't let her see it yet. The boutique's perfume presses into my sinuses, sweet and expensive, and suddenly it's too much. My throat tightens as if I'm swallowing cotton. My skin feels hot under my sweater, like panic is trying to sweat its way out. My phone vibrates again. Another text from Noah, like he's keeping time with my humiliation. Going to be later than I thought. Don't stay up. I stare at the message until the words blur. Don't stay up. Like sleep is a switch I can flip, like my mind hasn't been pacing for months. It's the pattern that gets me. Not the money, not even the betrayal. I don't know that part yet, not fully, but my body already knows something is wrong. It's the scheduling. Thursdays, always Thursdays. At first, Thursdays were nothing, just another day. Then Noah started saying, Thursdays are my late nights now. Client has a standing slot. He said it like a grown-up fact, standing slot, as if his life came with pre-booked excuses. And Elaine got strangely bright on Thursdays. She'd come over earlier in the day, perfume strong, hair freshly styled, lips a new shade. She'd float around the apartment like she was attending something, like she had a secret she was holding just behind her teeth. Busy day, Mara, she'd say, checking her watch. I have errands. Errands. She never called them errands before. She called them appointments or engagements. Errands sounded small, casual, like nothing important. Now I see the charges and understand why she used that word. It was a disguise. At home, Thursday nights became this quiet little ritual of waiting. The apartment would go still in that way that only happens when you're alone, but pretending you're not. The refrigerator would hum, the pipes would click, the city outside would hiss with distant traffic, and my living room would glow blue from the television I wasn't really watching. I'd make tea, always tea, because it gave my hand something warm to hold. I'd text Noah once, just once, so I didn't look needy. Everything okay? I'd write, casual, like I wasn't counting minutes. He'd answer later. All good, long night. Then I'd sit. The tea would cool. The bitterness would rise, sharp at the back of my tongue. The screen of my phone would light up and go dark and light up and go dark, like a heartbeat I couldn't control. Sometimes Elaine would send a message too. Your husband works so hard, she'd write. Be supportive. Supportive, as if support meant silence. As if being a good wife meant swallowing anything you were fed. Once, months ago, we were at dinner, and she made a comment that crawled under my skin and stayed there. Men need admiration after long days, she said, swirling her wine. She glanced at Noah like he was a hero. Then she looked at me, and there was a smirk. Small, quick, but it landed. Admiration, not rest, not peace. Admiration, like it's something you give a man the way you give a dog a treat. I laughed politely then. I even nodded, because I didn't want to fight, but the smirk, it didn't leave. Now, standing in the boutique, I hear that smirk in my head. I see it. I feel it like a fingerprint on my skin. The cashier clears her throat. Ma'am, she says softly, glancing between Elaine and the card terminal. It's still declining. Elaine's smile tightens. Try again. I keep staring at my phone. The list keeps giving me little pieces of a life I didn't consent to. A ride service charge. Thursday, 10:03 p.m, another ride service charge. Thursday, 10:11 p.m, 2 rides in one night. Short interval. My eyes sting like my body wants to cry, but can't decide if it's grief or rage. I scroll lower. And then I see it. Rivermark Sweets. At first it doesn't register. The words sit there plain and neutral like any other merchant label, but something in me, something animal, goes rigid. Rivermark Sweets isn't a store, it isn't a salon, it's not a restaurant, it's a hotel. The kind of hotel that pretends it's not a hotel. Soft lighting, smiling concierge, suites instead of rooms, privacy disguised as luxury. My thumb scrolls again, slow, as if moving too fast will make it real. Rivermark Suites, room service, Thursday, 11:22 p.m. My breath catches, a sharp snag in my chest. I scroll up. Rivermark Suites, room service, Thursday, 11:18 p.m. Another week. Rivermark Suites, room service, Thursday, 11:35 p.m. My vision tunnels for a second. The boutique sound dims. The soft music overhead becomes a distant murmur. It's every Thursday, every single Thursday. Not just one, not a mistake, not a coincidence, a routine. My palm goes damp around my phone. I can feel my pulse in my fingertips. It's like my body is trying to push blood out through my skin. Elaine is still talking, voice syrupy with irritation, telling the cashier about system glitches and premium clients and standards. I barely hear her. All I can hear is the word sweets. All I can see is Thursday, Thursday, Thursday. And suddenly, every late night in my apartment rearranges itself in my memory. Every cold cup of tea, every don't wait up, every quiet little moment where I told myself I was being supportive. My stomach rolls, bile creeps up, hot and sour, and I swallow hard, forcing it back down because I am not going to be sick here. I am not going to be messy in front of her, not yet. My fingers tremble, but my face stays still. I look at the charge again. Rivermark Suites, room service, and something inside me goes very quiet. Not calm, not peace. It's the quiet right before a storm hits the window. I inhale through my nose. The perfume burns. I exhale slowly, like I'm trying to keep my body from betraying me the way my husband already has. My eyes lift to the cashier's screen again and I watch the numbers flicker. Declined. I tighten my grip on my phone, and in the centre of my chest, beneath the nausea, beneath the ache, something harder forms, a shape, a decision. If there's a place where my Thursdays have been going, I'm going to find it. I don't fix it in the boutique. That's the first thing I realise as the air shifts and Elaine's voice climbs higher, sharper, demanding, scolding, embarrassed. My hands stay still on the counter, but inside me something is moving fast, 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 like a door slamming in a hallway I didn't know existed. Beep, declined. The cashier looks at me again, like I'm the adult in the room, like I'm the one with the power to make this stop. I am, and I don't. Not yet, because if I fix it now, I become the solution to their mess again. I become the quiet hand that smooths the wrinkle so they can keep wearing the lie. So I step back from the counter and I make my face gentle, soft, the way Elaine likes women to be when they're useful. I'm sorry, I murmur like I'm the one who did something wrong. I don't look at her when I say it. I keep my eyes on the screen in my palm, on the list of Thursdays that have been stolen from me one by one. Elaine huffs, indignant, and digs through her purse like she's searching for dignity she can swipe. Another card. Another decline. Her perfume is suddenly too strong, thick and sweet, like it's trying to cover rot. I walk out before she can hook me with another order. The mall air hits my skin cold, over-conditioned, too bright, too clean. My heart is loud. My ears are hot. I can feel blood pulsing in my neck like a warning. In the car, my hands shake so badly I have to press my palms against the steering wheel hard until my fingers hurt. The pain grounds me, keeps me in my body. I open my messages. Noah's texts are lined up like a script he's been repeating for months, each one a small rehearsed performance. Running late, client emergency. Meeting went long. Don't wait up. I scroll back through Thursdays. My throat tightens with each one. It's not just the words, it's the timing, the rhythm, the way his excuses sit perfectly on top of the charges like a lid. Thursday, October. There it is. Emergency presentation, 7:52 p.m. And at 8:10 p.m, Rivermark Suites. Room service at 11:18 p.m. Another Thursday. Client dinner. 6:43 p.m. At 6:59 p.m, Boutique Florist. At 8:12 p.m, Rivermark Suites. My skin prickles, like my body is trying to reject the reality. My mind keeps trying to soften. I taste bile again, swallow it down. My mouth goes dry anyway. My thumb hovers over his name. One call, one ring, one moment, and everything would be on fire. But I don't want fire. I want truth. Truth is colder than fire, cleaner. It doesn't burn out. It just stays. So I open the hotel number, Rivermark Suites. It's on the charge details, neat and corporate. I stare at it until the numbers blur. Then I tap call, and before the line connects, I turn on blocked caller ID. My pulse ticks under my tongue. Ring, ring. Rivermark Suites, how may I assist you? The voice is smooth, practiced, like they've learned how to sound kind without actually giving anything away. I swallow. My throat hurts. Hi, I say, and I hate how steady my voice sounds, like I'm a stranger to my own panic. I'm calling to confirm a reservation. It should be under my husband's name. I pause just long enough to make it believable, like I'm the type of wife who forgets details because she trusts them too much. Certainly, ma'am. Name? I give it. Noah's last name. My chest tightens when I say it, like I'm lending it to him again. There's typing, fast, efficient. I'm sorry, she says, tone unchanged. For privacy reasons, I can't confirm reservation details without that confirmation number. Of course, I breathe, as if I expected that. It's just, he's in meetings and I'm trying to schedule a car. He said he'd check in around... I let the sentence hang. After 8, she says automatically. Then there's a tiny pause. Like she realises she spoke too much, I go still. The air in the car feels thin. My ribs expand and don't want to release. After 8, I repeat softly, like I'm tasting a word that cuts. Yes, ma'am, she continues quickly, trying to patch it. Most guests typically check in after 8. If you have the confirmation number, but my brain has already latched onto it. My husband's party, that's what she almost said. I heard the catch in her voice, the half step, the way her professionalism tripped. Right, I whisper, thank you. I hang up before she can pull it back. My hands are cold now, not trembling, cold, like something inside me has shut a valve. After 8, that's when he works late, and that's when I sit in our living room, tea turning bitter, phone screen lighting my face like a ghost. My stomach cramps hard. I bend forward, forehead almost touching the steering wheel, and I inhale through my nose until the air burns. I'm not jealous. Jealous is messy, needy word people throw at women to make them small. This is different. This is a pattern. This is planning. And the worst part, the part that makes my teeth ache, is the feeling that someone has been watching me while they do it, like they've been measuring how much I'll swallow before I choke. I drive home with my jaw clenched so tight, it clicks when I swallow. The apartment is quiet when I walk in. Quiet in that neutral way that used to feel safe. Now it feels staged, like a set built to hide something behind the walls. I don't turn on music. I don't turn on the TV. I don't pour tea. I sit at the kitchen table with my phone and I open the card history again, deeper this time. I export a statement. I pull itemizations. I compare dates. I start building the timeline the way I've always built timelines. Calm hands, careful eyes, a mind that refuses to accept coincidences. And as I do, something sharp slips into place. The purchases aren't random, they're curated. A stylist. Thursday afternoon, a spa package. Thursday evening, a boutique tailor. Thursday earlier that week, Elaine isn't just spending, she's preparing someone. My throat goes tight again, but this time the feeling isn't nausea, it's rage, hot and clean. I hear keys in the lock. My shoulders lift automatically, muscles bracing like they've done this 1,000 times. Noah's voice fills the entryway, warm as if nothing in the world is wrong. "Hey, babe." He walks in, loosening his tie, smiling like he's tired in a noble way. He crosses the kitchen and kisses the top of my head. His cologne hits me, bright, expensive, and underneath it, faint but undeniable, a sweeter scent. Not mine. My stomach twists. "How was your day?" he asks. Casual. Too casual. I force my eyes to stay on my phone screen for one more beat, so I don't look at his face and start screaming. "Fine," I say. The word tastes like metal. He pulls a chair out and sits across from me, elbows on the table. He watches me the way people watch weather, checking for storms. "What's wrong?" he asks, voice soft, almost wounded, like I'm the one shifting the ground. I lift my eyes, slowly. "Nothing," I say again. He laughs lightly, a little exhale. "Okay, well, work was brutal. The client kept changing the scope. I was in meetings non-stop." After 8, I stare at him. His eyes hold mine, warm and steady. Gaslighting isn't always cruel. Sometimes it's gentle. Sometimes it's done with a smile, with a kiss, with the tone of someone who wants you to doubt yourself because it's easier than telling the truth. I swallow. My throat hurts. "Rivermark Sweets," I say. Just the name. The air shifts. It's subtle, so subtle most people would miss it, but I feel it in my bones. His jaw tightens, his blink slows, his smile falters for half a second, then repairs itself. "What?" he asks too quick. "I saw it on the statement," I say, keeping my voice flat. My hands are steady, my stomach is not. "Every Thursday." He leans back as if I've offended him by being observant. "Mara," he says, and there it is. The tone that means I'm being unreasonable. "I told you, client, we book a suite sometimes for presentations, private meetings." A suite for presentations. My tongue presses against my teeth until it aches. I can feel anger climbing my spine like heat. "And Elaine?" I ask. "Why is your mother paying for it on her card?" His expression flickers. Defensive, then sweet, then angry again, like he can't decide which mask will work. "She was just helping," he says, smiling wider. "She offered. You know she likes to feel involved." I stare at him. My eyes sting. He reaches across the table and takes my hand, thumb stroking my knuckles like a lullaby. "You've been stressed," he says softly. "We've both been through a lot. You're looking for problems because you're scared." My stomach drops. That sentence isn't comfort, it's a leash. He's telling me my instincts are trauma, that my suspicion is my weakness, that the truth is just anxiety wearing a costume, and the sick part is my brain almost accepts it for a flicker, for a dangerous second, because I've been trained, not by him alone, by years of being told I'm too much when I question, too sensitive when I notice, too anxious when I connect dots. I pull my hand back slowly. "No," I whisper, and the word is small but it holds weight. "I'm not scared. I'm awake." His smile hardens. He stands abruptly, chair scraping the floor. This is ridiculous, he snaps, and the sweetness drops like a curtain. You're tracking my movements now. What are you, a detective? I flinch at the sound, not because I'm afraid of him, but because I'm grieving, because the mask slipping still hurts, even when you expect it. He runs a hand through his hair, pacing. Then he turns back, expression forced into concern again, like he's trying a different key in the lock. Look, he says, voice softer. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have snapped. I've just been under pressure. You know I love you. Love, the word lands wrong, like it's being used as a tool. He reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out a small box. Velvet, black, too polished. My stomach twists again. I got you something, he says, offering it like a peace treaty. My fingers hesitate before taking it. The velvet is cool against my skin. I open it. Inside is a bracelet, delicate, pretty, the kind of gift that makes people say, "Oh," and stop asking questions, a distraction you can wear. My throat tightens until breathing feels like swallowing glass. I thought you deserved something nice, he says, eyes searching my face for compliance. For everything you do, Like I'm a machine he thanks when it doesn't break. I don't smile. I don't put it on. I look down at my phone at the charge I already saw earlier. Jewellery store, paid on the same account, the same authorised user line. He bought me a gift with my own money and he thinks it will work. My chest aches, hard, like someone is pressing a fist into my sternum. Elaine's voice floats from the hallway. "Is that my son I hear?" she calls, bright, sugary. She walks in without waiting for permission, carrying a tote bag like she lives here. She smells like perfume and confidence. Her eyes go straight to the bracelet. "Oh," she exclaims, "how lovely. Noah, you're so thoughtful." Then she looks at me and her smile sharpens. "See, Mara," she says, a voice gentle like a warning wrapped in honey. A wife who tracks is a wife who loses. My skin goes cold, not because she said it, because she said it like she knows something I don't, like she's been watching me stumble through a maze she built. I stare at her, and for the first time, I don't see a difficult mother-in-law. I see a collaborator, a manager, someone who has been running this operation with pride. My hands tighten around my phone until my fingers ache. I don't answer her. I can't. If I speak, my voice will shake, and I refuse to give her that. Elaine's gaze flicks to my phone, just a flicker. Quick, calculated. She's checking what I'm looking at. Snooping, always snooping, and I understand suddenly why she's been dropping by unannounced lately. Helping me reorganise the pantry, moving cans, opening drawers, watching my reactions like she's testing a lock. She wants to know how much I know. Noah clears his throat, stepping closer to me, as if his body can block hers from the truth. "Mum," he says, forcing a laugh, "don't start." Elaine lifts her hands. "Innocent, I'm only saying trust matters. Trust." The word makes something in me crack, because trust is what I've been handing them like cash, again and again, while they spend it on someone else. I inhale slowly. My lungs burn. Elaine's eyes narrow a fraction. She senses the shift. She senses I'm not folding. "My dear," she says, voice lowering, "don't do anything impulsive. You'll regret it." Impulsive. Like protecting myself is a tantrum. I stare at the bracelet in the velvet box. It glints under the kitchen light like a tiny shackle. Then I close the box. Softly, precisely, click. And I open the statement again, scrolling with my thumb, calm as a surgeon. Elaine's face stays smooth, but I can feel her attention tighten, like a wire pulled taut. I tap into the Rivermark charge details, itemised breakdowns, room service, a bottle of champagne, 2 desserts, a breakfast tray the next morning, 2, always 2. My heart thuds once, heavy. I click, view reservation note. A small line appears, black text, bland font, Nothing dramatic. Primary guest, Noah ___________. Additional guest, Miss L. My vision blurs at the edges like my body is trying to protect me by narrowing what I can see. Miss L, not a full name, just an initial, a shadow with a letter. But it's enough because it means I wasn't imagining it. It means I wasn't jealous. It means I wasn't crazy. I was being played. And the moment that truth settles in my chest, it doesn't feel like relief. It feels like ice. Clean, sharp, absolute. I lift my eyes slowly, meeting Elaine's gaze first. Her smile doesn't reach her eyes, and in that tiny gap between her smile and her eyes, I see it. Fear, just a sliver, just enough. My phone is warm in my palm. My skin is cold, and I know with a clarity that tastes like blood in my mouth, this isn't the end of the story. This is the start of my proof. I don't sleep. I lie in bed with my eyes open and my body pretending it's resting while my mind walks in circles like an animal trapped in a too small cage. The ceiling is dark. The air is still. Noah's side of the bed is warm only because his body is here, his breath even, his chest rising and falling like he's innocent enough to rest. I stare at the shape of him in the dark, and my stomach turns over again. Miss L, 2 letters that feel heavier than my name. My phone is on the nightstand face down, as if hiding it will make it stop glowing in my head. It doesn't. I get up before the sun does. The bathroom mirror catches me in the harsh light, pale, lips pressed flat, eyes a little too bright. I look like someone who's been robbed but hasn't found the empty drawer yet. I wash my face with cold water until my skin stings. I grip the sink and breathe slow. In, out, in, out. Then I move, not like a wife, like a person who needs evidence to survive what's coming next. The folder starts as a blank note on my phone, a title, simple, Thursdays. My thumbs hover over the screen, trembling once, and then the tremor stops. The moment I start typing, something in me shifts from pain to purpose. It doesn't make it hurt less. It just gives the hurt a direction. Screenshot. I capture the Rivermark charges. I capture the room service itemizations. I zoom in until the text is sharp enough to cut. Screenshot. I capture Noah's texts. Client emergency. Running late. Don't wait up. I line them up beside the timestamps. I make a collage of lies and receipts, screenshot, ride service charges, floral shop, styling appointment, tailoring, spa package. Not purchases, preparations, like someone is being assembled. And the more I gather, the more the betrayal changes shape. It stops being a single wound. It becomes a schedule. I export statements. I email them to myself from a private address I haven't used in years, one I created back in college when I needed a place to keep things from roommates, a tiny locked drawer in the digital world. Every file gets a name, date, time, location. I feel like I'm stitching myself together with cold thread. When I'm done, I sit at the kitchen table and stare at my ring. The diamond is small. Tasteful, that was Elaine's word. Tasteful, she said when Noah gave it to me, like she was approving a purchase, not a promise. Now it sits on my finger, like a weight. Not heavy in the way jewellery is heavy, heavy in the way truth is heavy when you finally stop balancing it on denial. I twist it once. It doesn't move easily. My skin has swollen around it over the years, tiny changes I never noticed because I assumed I'd wear it forever. Forever. The word makes my throat tighten. I slip the ring off with effort. The skin beneath it is pale and soft, like it's been protected from sunlight, like part of me has been sheltered from reality. I set the ring on the table. It makes a small sound, a click, and that sound cracks something in my chest. My eyes burn, not tears yet, just heat gathering behind them, the body's first warning, that it wants to fall apart. My mouth opens, but no sound comes out. My hand presses flat to my sternum, hard, as if I can push the feeling back down. I don't cry, not because I'm strong, because I'm scared if I start. I won't stop. I drive later, when the building is awake, when people are moving in and out, and the world looks normal enough to hide inside. I sit in my car outside our building with the engine off. The steering wheel is cold beneath my palms. My hands shake anyway, small tremors that keep running through my fingers like electricity. My stomach feels hollow. My tongue tastes like pennies. I stare up at our windows, our life behind glass, and I realise something with a clarity so sharp, it feels like an injury. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't temptation. This wasn't a single bad decision. This was scheduled, planned, repeated, protected. My breath comes shallow. I force it deeper. My ribs ache. In the reflection of the rearview mirror, I see my own eyes. They look awake, too awake, like sleep is a privilege I can't afford anymore. My phone buzzes. Noah again. Morning, babe. Crazy day ahead. Might have to stay late Thursday too. Thursday too. My fingers go numb around the phone. He's already laying the track for the next lie, already giving himself permission, already assuming I'll swallow it. I don't answer. I screenshot it. File name, Thursday, preload. My throat tightens with a bitter laugh that never makes it out. Then I do something I never thought I'd do. I follow the trail further, not with my feet, with the data. I tap into the ride service charges and open the details where it lists drop-off locations. Most of the time it's just a zip code, a general area. But sometimes, when you're not careful, the system saves more. And there it is, a repeated endpoint, the same building, the same street. The same set of numbers, like a heartbeat. Every Thursday after 8, the rides end there. Not at his office, not at a client site, not at a restaurant. There. I zoom in until the address fills the screen. My breath stops in my throat because I know that address. I know it the way you know a place you once dreamed about. Half fantasy, half promise. A condo building near the river, glass balconies, a lobby that smells like white tea and money, a view that makes you feel like your life is finally starting. Noah took me there 2 years ago. We held hands in that bright lobby while a realtor smiled at us like we were already successful. Noah squeezed my fingers and whispered, "This could be us. This could be our future. Our future." I remember standing in the empty living room of Unit 1708. Sunlight pouring across the floor like an invitation. I remember imagining a couch there, a table there, a life there. I remember Noah behind me, arms around my waist, chin on my shoulder. "You deserve this," he murmured. I swallow now, and my throat hurts like I swallowed something jagged. Unit 1708. I stare at the address until my eyes water. My mind tries to reject it, tries to tell me it's coincidence, that there are many units, many buildings, many reasons. But my body doesn't believe that anymore. My body believes patterns, and this pattern is screaming. I drive home with the address burning in my brain. Elaine is there when I walk in. Of course she is. She's in my kitchen like she belongs to the cabinets, sleeves rolled, hands on my pantry door as if she's inspecting inventory. Cans are pulled out and lined up on the counter like evidence. My stomach tightens instantly. "What are you doing?" My voice comes out too calm, too polite. Elaine doesn't startle. She never startles. She moves like someone who expects to be allowed. "Helping," she says brightly. "You had things organised incorrectly. Your spices were beside your baking goods." She clicks her tongue like I'm a child. "No wonder cooking stresses you." Cooking doesn't stress me. You stress me. I don't say it. My teeth grind lightly instead. She turns and looks at me, eyes sharp. "You've been distracted," she says, quiet. My skin prickles. She's checking, measuring, testing. I step closer, slow, like I'm approaching an animal I don't want to spook. Elaine wipes her hands on a dish towel and tilts her head, a smile forming like a blade. "Whatever you're thinking," she says softly. "Stop." The word lands in my chest like a shove. "Excuse me?" My throat feels tight. Elaine steps closer, invading the space that is supposed to be mine. Her perfume hits me, heavy, expensive, suffocating. She looks directly into my eyes, like she wants to see what I've found reflected there. "If you're smart," she murmurs, low enough that the air itself feels complicit, "you'll stay quiet." My stomach drops. Then she adds, like she's handing down wisdom, like she's done this before. "Men wander, women endure. For a second, I can't breathe. Audacity isn't loud. Sometimes it's whispered in your own kitchen with the confidence of someone who thinks you'll accept anything as long as it's said calmly." I stare at her and I feel something inside me lift, an anger so pure it almost feels like clarity. My hands curl into fists at my sides. My nails press into my palms. "You think I should endure this?" My voice is a thread, tight, shaking at the edges. Elaine smiles wider. "I think you should stop embarrassing yourself," she says. "A wife who panics loses everything." Everything. The word hits. Because it's not just my marriage she's talking about. It's my money, my security, my reputation, my life. She's warning me like a threat wrapped in advice, and suddenly I understand the shape of this betrayal. It's not only Noah choosing someone else, it's Elaine choosing her too, funding her, styling her, building her up with my resources like she's constructing a replacement version of me, one she approves of. My finances aren't just being stolen, they're being used as tools to erase me. My throat burns, my eyes sting, my heart is hammering now, not fast but hard, each beat like a decision being stamped into place. Elaine's gaze flicks past me toward the hallway, listening. She's calculating if Noah is home, if she can push further, if she can frighten me into silence. I stand there and let her see nothing. No tears, no shaking, no pleading, just my eyes, because inside the proof folder is growing and it's the only thing keeping me upright. Elaine steps back, satisfied with herself. "Good," she says, like she's trained me. "Now, help me finish this pantry. I don't like clutter." She turns away, and in that moment, something in me goes cold. Not numb, cold like metal. I walk into my bedroom and close the door softly behind me like I'm still the good girl, still the polite wife, still the woman who doesn't make scenes. Then I sit on the edge of the bed and open my phone again. The address is still there, the building we toured, the future he promised. My thumb hovers over the map pin. My pulse is loud in my ears. My mouth tastes bitter. My wedding ring sits on the kitchen table like a discarded piece of myself. I don't call Noah. I don't scream at Elaine. I don't cry. I do the only thing that makes sense now. I screenshot the address, and as I label the file, River Condo, Unit 1708, Our Future, I feel my stomach twist. Not with nausea this time, but with something darker, recognition, because I know that lobby. I know that sunlight on the floor. I know the way Noah's voice sounded when he said our future, like it was a gift. And I realise with a slow, sick certainty that he wasn't showing me a dream. He was showing me the place he planned to leave me from. I move like I'm normal. That's the strangest part. My body still makes coffee, still answers emails, still nods when Noah says morning, like he didn't carve a second life into my calendar, still smiles at Elaine when she drifts through my home like a queen inspecting a borrowed palace. But inside me, something has changed shape. I'm not waiting anymore, I'm building. The first time I do it, my hands shake so badly, I almost drop my phone. New account. I stare at the words on the screen while my heart punches my ribs, hard and impatient. The bank app asks me simple questions, name, address, security prompts, and I answer them like I'm filling out a form at a doctor's office. Like this is routine, like my marriage isn't bleeding out on a Thursday schedule, the confirmation banner pops up, account created, a tiny line of text, a door. I exhale, and the air tastes sharper than it used to. Next, direct deposits. I don't make a speech to myself. I don't light candles. I don't find my power. In a mirror, I just move the money. Click, confirm, done. I freeze the things that don't matter to survival. The streaming services Noah swears he needs. The boutique subscriptions, the little luxury charges that used to make our life feel soft at the edges. I don't cancel them for revenge. I cancel them because I'm done financing comfort for people who are dismantling me behind my back. The screen asks, "Are you sure?" I press yes. My finger doesn't hesitate. The second part happens in silence. I schedule a consultation with someone whose voice is calm and practical and doesn't gasp when I say words like authorised user and hotel charges and pattern of deception. I'm not looking for sympathy. Sympathy won't protect me. I'm looking for steps, proof, paper trails, what matters, what holds up. Afterward, I sit in my car and I feel my hands finally start to stop shaking, not because I'm less hurt, but because I have a map. Proof of misuse, proof of deception, proof of financial entanglement. Those phrases loop in my head like a chant, not spiritual, strategic. And then I do the hardest part. I wait. Waiting is torture when you know you're being lied to. Every minute feels like swallowing glass and pretending it's water. Noah talks about Thursday like it's already written. Big night, he says on Wednesday, sighing dramatically. Client is being a nightmare, might run late. I nod, like always. I even smile, small and supportive. My stomach turns at my own performance, but I keep it on, because if I show him anything at all, he'll change the pattern. He'll cover his tracks. He'll move the meetings to Fridays, or he'll start paying cash, or Elaine will open a new card in someone else's name. I need them to stay predictable. Predictable people are easy to trap. Thursday arrives like a bruise blooming. Elaine is bright all day. She comes by early with her hair done and a fresh set of nails, and she makes a show of checking on me, but her eyes keep flicking to my purse, my phone, the kitchen counter, as if she's trying to see whether I've swallowed her warning or sharpened it. I give her nothing. She leaves to run errands. I watch the door close behind her and I exhale like I've been holding a weight in my lungs. Noah kisses me before he leaves. His mouth is warm, familiar, wrong. "Don't wait up," he murmurs into my hair, like it's affection and not a command. I nod, and when the elevator door closes on him, I stand there in the quiet, staring at my reflection in the hallway mirror. My face looks steady. My eyes look like they belong to someone who knows too much. I grab my keys. My friend Talia is already downstairs in her car. She's the only person I've told, just enough for her to understand why I need a witness, why I need someone near me, so I don't do something reckless with my own heart. She looks at me when I get in, and her gaze is sharp, careful. "You sure?" she asks. I swallow. My throat is dry, even though I've been drinking water all day, like it's medicine. "No," I say honestly, "but I'm going." We drive toward the river. The city lights smear across the windshield like wet paint. My palms sweat. I wipe them on my jeans, then grip my phone again until it warms under my fingers. The building appears, glass and steel, too clean, too expensive, the kind of place that makes you stand taller without realising. I remember touring it. Remember Noah's hand on my waist. Remember the realtor saying, "Imagine your life here," as if life is something you purchase. We park down the street where we can see the entrance. The lobby glows softly, white and gold. My stomach clenches. Talia says nothing. She just sits there, steady, like a seat belt for my sanity. We wait. Minutes crawl. My phone buzzes once with a simple push notification, some small charge, some meaningless swipe. My nerves jump anyway. Then I see her. Elaine. Of course it's Elaine first. She steps out of a black ride service car like she's arriving at a gala. She's carrying shopping bags, paper handles looped over her wrist like jewellery. She pauses on the sidewalk, checks her reflection in the lobby glass, adjusts her hair and smiles to herself like she's delivering a crown. My teeth ache. She walks inside with the bag swinging lightly at her side, not the posture of a woman worried about money, not the posture of a woman in an emergency, the posture of someone proud. A few minutes later, Noah arrives. He doesn't look rushed. He doesn't look stressed. He doesn't look like a man who's been in meetings non-stop. He looks relaxed, happy. He steps out of the car with a loose smile on his face, shoulders easy, phone in hand, texting probably. He glances up at the building like it's home. My chest tightens so hard I have to take a shallow breath just to keep from making a sound. Talia's hand shifts slightly on the steering wheel. I can feel her anger in the stillness beside me. He's not even trying, she whispers. I can't answer. My throat won't open, because in that moment, the betrayal isn't abstract. It's a person walking into a building he once showed me as a dream, and I'm sitting in a car watching him live it with someone else. I stare at my phone. The banking app is open, already waiting, like it knows why my hands are shaking. Authorised users, Elaine's name, her card, the one she flashes like a symbol, the one she thinks makes her untouchable. My thumb hovers. I think about every time she told me to stay quiet, every time she corrected me, every time she looked at me like I was temporary. I think about Noah's text, the rhythm, the schedule. After 8, I breathe in, slow. My lungs burn, then I tap, remove authorised user. A prompt appears. Are you sure? My heart slams once. Hard. Yes. Confirm. The app spins for a second that lasts too long. Then, authorised user removed. My mouth goes numb. A quiet, controlled shutdown. No screaming, no confrontation, just a line severed. I sit very still. Talia exhales beside me like she's been holding her breath too. We wait for the echo. It comes faster than I expect. My phone vibrates. One long buzz, then another. Noah calling. My stomach flips. I don't answer. It buzzes again. Noah again. Then a text pops up. Hey babe, quick question. Did you change something with the cards? My skin goes cold. He knows. He's sensing the shift like an animal senses weather. He calls again. I watch it ring until it stops. Then another message. Seriously, call me. It's urgent. Urgent. Now it's urgent. Now he needs me. My throat tightens with a laugh that tastes like bitterness. Talia turns her head to look at me. Her eyes are wide, steady, almost fierce. Don't, she says softly, as if she can see my instinct to pick up and explain, to fix, to soothe. I swallow. My tongue feels thick. I won't, I whisper, but my voice shakes anyway. The phone buzzes again. Elaine, of course. Her name flashes on my screen like a warning sign. I let it ring again. Then voicemail notifications start stacking like stones. The first one is clipped, angry. The second one is louder, more frantic. By the third, her tone shifts. Sweetness poured over panic. Mara, dear. Sweetheart, there seems to be a little mix-up. The mix-up, like my boundary is an accident. I stare at the screen and feel something in me harden further. Then my phone pings with a push notification. Attempted transfer. My breath catches. My eyes flick across the details. Noah's account trying to move a chunk of money out, fast like a man grabbing valuables during a fire. My fingers go numb. Status failed. I blink once, then again, failed. He tries again, failed. A small red line appears beneath the attempt. Insufficient funds, transfer blocked. My pulse pounds in my ears so loudly it blurs the world, because in that moment I understand what he never did. He thought the money was his. He thought my accounts were our accounts. He thought my competence meant access. He thought my love meant ownership. But he was never the one holding it. He was just spending it. My mouth goes dry and a strange calm spreads through my chest, thin, cold, deliberate. Noah's phone calls keep coming, but now they sound distant, like rain hitting a closed window. Elaine's voicemails pile up, but I don't listen. I stare at the failed transfer notification and feel the first real shift of power settle into my bones. Not joy, not triumph. Something quieter, something sharper. The knowledge that when people realise they're losing control, they stop pretending, they scramble, they get ugly. And I'm about to see exactly who I married without the mask, without the charm, without the provider act. Talia's voice is barely a breath beside me. "Do you want to go?" she asks. I look up at the building again, at the glowing lobby, at the glass balconies, at the place that used to be our future. My hand stops shaking. "No," I whisper, "not yet, because I'm not here to fight. I'm here to watch the truth walk out the front door." The lobby doors breathe open and shut like they're alive. Glass, warm light, white stone that looks clean enough to erase footprints. I remember standing in here with Noah, my hand in his, listening to a realtor talk about security and privacy and investing in your future. I remember the way my chest used to expand in this space, like hope had room to stretch. Now my chest feels packed tight, like all my organs are pressed together, bracing. Talia's car is still parked where we can see the entrance. The heater hums low. My hands are resting in my lap, but I can feel my pulse everywhere. Wrists, throat, behind my eyes. The world is sharp-edged. My phone is silent for a few minutes, and that silence is worse than the ringing. It feels like the air right before a storm breaks. The pause where the sky decides what it's going to destroy. Then movement. Noah appears first, stepping out of the elevator area with that easy confidence he wears like a suit. Elaine is beside him and she's talking fast, mouth moving like she's already crafting a story for anyone who will listen. Behind them, a woman trails a half step away. She's younger than me, not in an innocent way, in a curated way, hairstyle like it's been trained, outfit sharp enough to cut, shoes that look expensive but new, like someone is still learning how to walk in them without flinching. Her posture is practiced. Her eyes are hungry. Miss L, a letter that has a face now. My stomach flips hard. Talia's breath catches. "That's her," she whispers, like saying it makes it real. I keep my eyes on the woman's hands, nails done, clean, neutral. The kind of nails you get when someone else is paying and you're trying to look like you belong in rooms that have rules. Elaine gestures toward the front desk, chin lifted, voice carrying. She's still playing the role, matriarch, benefactor, keeper of standards. Noah stands close, smiling at the woman like he's proud, like he's showing off a purchase. I feel something sour rise in my throat. Not jealousy, not heartbreak, something uglier. Disgust. They move toward a small counter near the lobby. Concierge services, a little stand where people arrange cars and dinners and deliveries like life is a list someone else executes. There's a staff member in a crisp uniform, tablet in hand. Elaine points. The woman nods, smiling too brightly. Then I see it, a shopping bag, white, thick paper, luxury logo. They're checking out something here, finalising, paying, scheduling a delivery upstairs, something witnessed. My phone buzzes once, like a pulse, a notification, attempted charge. My lungs stop. I stare at the screen. The merchant name is clipped, formal. The amount sits there like a dare. Status, declined. The word looks blunt, unforgiving. I don't move. I don't smile. I just hold the phone and watch what happens next, like I'm watching a documentary about my own life. Elaine's body changes before her face does. Her shoulders stiffen. The hand holding her card pauses mid-air. The staff member's polite expression tightens. "I'm sorry, ma'am," the staff member says, quiet but clear. "That card isn't authorised." Elaine laughs. It's brittle, a sound that tries to be superior but cracks at the edges. "That's impossible," she says. "Try again." The staff member does. I watch the tablet screen from where I sit. Not the details, just the motion, the tap, the pause, the little polite nod. Then again, firmer. It's declined. The young woman's smile flickers. Her eyes slide to Noah. A quick check, a calculation. Noah's face tightens like a muscle he can't control. He reaches into his pocket too fast, pulls out his phone, starts tapping like he can force reality to change with speed. Elaine leans in closer to the staff member, lowering her voice the way rich people do when they think. Whispering turns a demand into a right. "This card is linked to my family's primary account," she says. "There must be a bank mistake." The staff member's eyes stay neutral, too trained to be intimidated. "It says the authorised user was removed," they reply. "Authorised user removed." The words hang in the air like smoke. The young woman's face goes still, then colder. She doesn't look at Elaine like a mother figure anymore. She looks at her like a risk. Noah's head snaps slightly, searching, like he wants to find the nearest exit or the nearest person to blame. His eyes dart around the lobby, and even from here, I feel the moment he thinks of me. His phone is already in his hand. My name flashes across his face before it even flashes on my screen, because I know him. I know the reflex. I know the way his mind works when he loses control. Call Mara. Fix it. Smooth it. Make it go away. My phone starts ringing. Noah, I let it ring. His mouth moves. I can't hear the words, but I can read the shape of them from a distance. "Pick up." He glances at the woman beside him, trying to keep his expression calm, trying to look like a man handling a minor inconvenience. But his eyes are panicked. Elaine's face is turning a shade too pink, her composure cracking at the seams. She speaks again, louder this time. "Do you know who I am?" she snaps. And it's almost funny how predictable it is. Like that phrase is her emergency exit. The staff member doesn't flinch. "I'm sorry," they repeat, and their politeness becomes a wall. There's nothing we can do. The woman, Ms. L, shifts her weight. The movement is small, but it says everything. Distance, she's creating distance. She looks Noah up and down, slow and sharp, like she's reassessing him in real time, like the fantasy is peeling off and what's underneath isn't impressive enough to keep. Her voice is quiet, but her mouth is tight when she speaks. "So, you're not actually..." She stops herself, glancing at the staff member, aware of being witnessed. "You said this wouldn't happen." Noah's jaw flexes. "It's a glitch," he says quickly, too quickly. "Just a bank issue." Elaine nods furiously, eager to cling to that story. "Exactly. A bank issue," she says, like repeating it makes it true. The staff member's voice stays calm, and that calm feels like a slap. "It's not a glitch, ma'am. It shows the authorised user was removed by the account holder." Account holder. I feel that phrase settle deep in my chest. Account holder. Not Elaine. Not Noah. Me. Noah's phone rings again in his hand. He's calling me repeatedly, like persistence is power. Elaine is fumbling now, digging in her bag for another card, another symbol, another way to avoid being seen as what she is. The staff member tries it. Declined. Again. Declined. The young woman's eyes narrow, and in that narrowing I see her shift from disappointment to contempt, because people like her don't attach themselves to men for love, they attach themselves to outcomes, and the outcome just failed at the counter. She turns slightly, looking toward the elevator, as if she's already planning how to leave without being embarrassed by them any further. Elaine reaches for her, voice suddenly sweet, suddenly pleading. "Darling," she says, and the word is syrup, sticky and desperate. "It's fine. We'll fix it." Fix it. Noah's eyes snap toward the parking area, toward the street, searching again. And then he sees my car. Or maybe he sees something else. Maybe he sees the way control keeps slipping through his fingers. Either way, his shoulders tighten, and he starts walking out of the lobby with urgency, pulling Elaine along by instinct, like he can physically remove her from humiliation if he moves fast enough. The young woman doesn't follow. She stays inside. She watches them go with an expression that has no softness left. Then she does something small, final. She takes a step back from Elaine's shopping bag, like she doesn't want to be associated with it. Elaine glances over her shoulder, face tightening, as if she just realised the person she's been grooming is already letting her drop. The doors close behind them. They stride toward the curb, and I feel my body go rigid, every nerve tightening like a string drawn back. Noah's phone buzzes again. This time, a text pops up before he reaches my car. "Where are you?" I don't answer. I open my own message thread with him and scroll, thumb steady, heart loud. Thursday, Thursday, Thursday. I've got screenshots, locations, itemizations, the hotel slip, Miss L. And now I have a public decline, a witnessed moment, a crack in the image. Noah reaches the sidewalk and sees me clearly now. Me sitting in Talia's passenger seat, window down just enough for the cold air to bite my cheeks. His face changes in stages. Shock first, quick, ugly, then anger, hot, immediate, then panic, quiet, deep, because he realises I'm not here to beg, I'm here to end something. "Mara," he says, and his voice tries to soften itself, tries to find that familiar charm. "What are you doing here?" Elaine steps forward too, eyes wide, lips parted like she's about to scold me for embarrassing her. I look at them both and feel a strange calm settle behind my ribs, not peace, control. I open the car door and step out slowly. The air outside is colder than inside the car. It hits my skin like a slap. My breath ghosts in front of me. My hands are steady, but my stomach is a knot of steel. Noah takes a step closer, lowering his voice, like he can keep this private by shrinking the volume. "This isn't the place," he says, strained. "We can talk at home." Home. The word tastes wrong. I look him in the eye and keep my voice calm enough that it scares even me. "You didn't just lie," I say. "You scheduled the lie." His face stiffens. Elaine sucks in a breath like she's offended by my tone. I keep going. "You didn't just spend money," I say, and my throat tightens, but I don't let it shake. "You spent my trust like it was endless." Noah's mouth opens, closes. He glances at Elaine like he's searching for backup. Elaine lifts her chin. "How dare you speak to my son like that?" she snaps. "You're being hysterical." Hysterical, that old weapon. I don't even blink. I lift my phone and turn the screen toward them. One by one, I scroll. Thursday, charges. The florist, styling, the spa, the tailoring, the hotel, the ride service. Then his texts, aligned perfectly with the timestamps. Client emergency. Meeting ran late. Don't wait up. I watch Noah's face as he sees his own words trapped beside the receipts. His eyes flicker, fast. He knows there's no way to charm this into nothing. Elaine's smile cracks. She tries to patch it with anger. This is an invasion," she spits. "A wife who treks, a wife who survives." I cut in, and my voice is still calm, but the edge is sharp enough to draw blood without touching her. Elaine's nostrils flare. Noah steps closer again, lowering his voice further, trying to turn this into a private negotiation. "Mara," he whispers, and the whisper is desperate now. "Please, let's just fix this." Fix it. Like I'm the repair person for his betrayal. I feel my stomach twist, and for a moment the pain flashes bright, hot behind my eyes, because I remember loving him. I remember believing him. I remember the condo tour, the sun on the floor, the future in his voice. Then the pain cools, because loving him never protected me. Paper and proof will. I speak slowly, like I'm reading a clause. "Here's what's going to happen," I say. "You're going to sign an agreement to separate finances and leave peacefully." Noah's face goes pale. Elaine makes a sound, half laugh, half choke. "You can't." "I can," I say softly, "or I take this documentation to people who will make it official." Noah's eyes dart again, to the building, to the lobby, to the staff who witnessed the decline, to the young woman who didn't come out with them, to the world, because this isn't just a marriage problem anymore. This is exposure. Elaine's mask slips, just for a second. Her eyes sharpen on me, and her voice drops, low and real. "You were never suitable," she says, "and the honesty in it is almost worse than the cruelty. My son deserved someone better, like I'm an outfit, like I'm a placeholder." Noah flinches at her words, but he doesn't correct her, and that tells me everything. He opens his mouth, scrambling. "Mara, you've been cold lately," he says, like he's trying to rewrite the story in real time. "You've been distant. You don't..." He gestures, vaguely desperate. "You don't make me feel wanted." I stare at him. My chest aches, but my voice doesn't shake. "You weren't lonely," I say. "You were greedy." The word lands. His face tightens, anger flashing, then fear again, because truth doesn't care about his feelings. Behind us, the lobby doors open. The young woman steps out. Miss L. She holds a small bag in one hand, something she bought herself maybe, or something she's reclaiming before she leaves. Her face is tight with irritation, but her eyes are clear now. She looks at Noah like he's not worth the trouble. "I'm not doing this," she says, voice flat. "You told me you had your own money. You told me your wife didn't matter." My stomach twists at the phrase, "didn't matter," but I keep my face still. Miss L glances at Elaine, and there's disgust there now, open and unpolished. "And you," she says, "you acted like I was joining a family. This is embarrassing." Elaine's lips tremble. For a second, she looks old. Not powerful, not untouchable, just a woman who built her life on other people's credit and is watching the floor crack. Miss L turns away from them. She walks past Noah without touching him, without even looking again, and heads toward the street like she's stepping out of a bad deal. Final. Noah watches her go, stunned, as if he can't believe the person he risked everything for has already decided he's not worth it. Elaine makes a small sound, almost a whimper, then catches herself, forcing her face back into a sneer, but it doesn't hold. It's too late. Her status is gone. Her card is gone. Her leverage is gone. All that's left is her name and the consequences. Noah's voice drops to a whisper again as he steps closer, eyes wet with panic. "Please," he says, "just fix it." I look at him. Really look. Not at the man I married, at the man who scheduled lies into my life like appointments. My throat tightens, but my voice stays level. "I am," I say. I lift my phone, thumb hovering over my next saved document, my prepared agreement, my timeline, my proof, like a blade that doesn't need to swing to be deadly. I'm fixing my life. The house sounds different when lies aren't living in it. It's not dramatic. It's not a movie moment with music swelling and doors slamming. It's quieter than that. Too quiet at first, like a room after someone stops shouting and your ears keep waiting for the next hit. The refrigerator hums, the pipes tick. Somewhere outside, a car alarm chirps once and dies. My own footsteps feel unfamiliar on the floor, like I'm walking through a place that used to belong to a version of me who kept forgiving. I take my shoes off by the door and realise my hands are shaking now that I'm alone, not the panicked shaking from before. This is the aftershock, my body finally letting go of the posture it held for months. My shoulders drop and it feels like something heavy slides off my spine. Relief is a strange thing. It doesn't feel like joy. It feels like grief's cousin, like both of them steal your breath. Both of them make your chest ache. Both of them leave you staring at ordinary objects as if they're evidence. A mug in the sink, a blanket folded wrong, a quiet lamp in the corner. I stand in the kitchen and look at my phone, all those screenshots, all those timestamps, all those neat little lies lined up beside neat little charges. And the wildest part is the proof didn't make it hurt more. It made it stop confusing me. Love shouldn't require you to become a detective. But if someone makes you one, believe what you find. I run water over my hands, warm, steady, real. I watch it slide down my fingers and disappear. And I think about how long I tried to be reasonable, how long I tried to be understanding, how long I let their version of reality sit on my shoulders like it was my job to carry. Not anymore. If you've ever had someone use your kindness like a credit line, tell your story in the comments. I read them, I do. And I want you to know you're not crazy for noticing patterns. And if you want more revenge and truth stories, subscribe and stay close. Because next time there's a family emergency that turns into a signature and a secret beneficiary nobody expected.